Hi everyone, my name is Chris Martin. Welcome to Keto with me. It is day 8 on my journey back into keto. New to my channel, check out my day 0 video where I explain to you the reasons and motivations for creating this video series. All right, it's now time for my clip. All right, folks, you've seen my day 8 clip there. You'll see that I've made some changes, but let's go over the numbers first. So yesterday I had about 15 carbs. I actually started doing different type of testing, so I'm now doing a ketone meter and a glucose meter. So you'll see that. I'll talk about that just here in a second. The numbers that I had was 0.8 on my ketones and 108 on my glucose. But we'll get to that in just a second. My weight did not change. I actually stepped on the scale and it was 225. It was exactly like yesterday. I knew this was going to happen at some point. I can't keep just going down, down, down without ever like hitting, the same number. I was just happy that it didn't shoot back up, so that's good. So that that's means 0 pounds for one day, and then my to date is still 9.4 pounds. So the thing about week 2 is that's where I plan to make changes. Every week I'll change. Every week I'll reevaluate my goals. So there'll be some some changes in there, not like a ton of them, but some changes in there, and then also some other changes you might have seen in there. Like I stopped doing the BHB because I want to be reliant on my own ketones. That was only a short-term thing just to help me get over the keto flu. And then, some of the other changes that I'm doing is I'm putting, I'm doing bulletproof coffee now instead of the heavy whipping cream, butter coffee that I used to drink for one of my coffees in the morning. So that, so MCT oil helps with your, helps you, generate some of your own ketones. I'll share a video from Dr. Voss or someone that talks about that. And, one thing about MCT oil, ease into it. I was going to save this for the video recommendation, but just ease into it. I went ahead and just, because I'm fortunate enough I work from home, I just went ahead and did a whole tablespoon and was like, oh please don't. So, and it went well for me. I didn't have any diarrhea or anything like that, which does happen to some folks because, the lining or something about your intestines that Dr. Boz says, just, it has to build, get used to it. So she even says, just lick the spoon, maybe just put a little bit and lick the spoon of MCT oil just to get used to it first. Maybe because I used to do it a lot before, I was okay there. So let me check my notes, make sure there was anything else that that I'm changing. Oh, I'm going to try to make all my meals this week, or at least my start of my meals, my first official meal, aside from the bulletproof coffee. I'm going to try to make it to lunch. Maybe I'll even get to, the afternoon or something like that. That's one of the other changes that I'm going to focus on. The other focus that I'm going to do is I'm going to start tracking, the amount of fat I'm getting into my goals here, but I either say it here or I say it there. But I'm going to be more concerned about the actual macro breakdown. You know, that, you know, for it to be on keto, you're supposed to be like 75%, you know, fat, you know, 20%, you know, protein, and about 5%, you know, carbs. Now that's, you can't hit those numbers all the time, but if you can get close to that, that's pretty good. So interesting enough, my, you know, first day of doing this, or at least tracking it, you know, I hit 73 on my fat, I hit 4 on my carbs, and then 23 on my protein. So that was actually pretty good. So that'll give me a higher score in my one of my categories on the goal section there. So you'll see that. The glucose stuff, you know, we'll talk about that. Well, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about more of that in the goals, but you know, I'm testing with these now. That gives me more of an accurate picture. What's interesting is that I tested this yesterday because I actually got these a couple days ago, my new strips, because I had this from a long, you know, couple years ago, actually 3 years ago, and then I had my strips, which had expired, so I ordered some new ones. Well, the numbers I went ahead and tested along with my ketones yesterday with the urine strips, and now, interesting enough, my ketones yesterday morning was 1.5 and my glucose was 101. So it wasn't because of the BHB, because remember, BHB doesn't stay in that long, and I hadn't had it for over, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 hours before. So, but anyway, I just wanted to mention that, you know, I had it, you know, so don't know what happened yesterday, but, you know, something interesting happened. I don't know, obviously, you know, I didn't lose any weight. I do remember only drinking, you know, like 2 or 3 cups of water, but I don't know if that has anything. But I'm not going to worry about it, because again, I'm still headed in the right direction. Let's take a look at my goals, folks. You can see for week 2, I've changed up some of my goals here. Not like drastic changes, but definitely want to make some changes from week 1 to week 2. I want my pit of success to, you know, still be flexible, but at the same time, I got to keep growing. So, sleep, not another good night's sleep, but, you know, I only slept 5 hours, but I didn't get up any, so that was a win. I'm still waiting for that, you know, magical, you know, sleep to have, so it will be great whenever I get to that point. So let's talk about my eating style. First off, you'll see that for fasting, you know, I'm still, well, actually I did, you know, I told you guys that I was going to try to, you know, extend it to where I eat at lunch, but, you know, if I'm doing bulletproof coffee, arguably, am I really fasting? So I'm not going to count that yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and be one of the guys that count black coffee, or don't count black coffee necessarily as breaking my fast. At least I'll have 1 cup when I'm doing my actual real fasting to start. And then when I really start fine tuning it, you know, sometime in the next 3 or 4 weeks, you know, then perhaps I'll like do nothing but water until, you know, whenever. So, but more on that when we get, you know, closer to the point where I'm actually fasting. So, looking at my style, I changed it from lazy dirty to dirty clean. That means I'm always trying to, you know, do the best I can to get, you know, clean, whole foods, non-processed oils, non-processed foods, and things like that. You heard me mention the keto police before. There's going to be times because of convenience, because of whatever, you're just not going to be able to, you know, to eat clean keto perfectly. So I don't get that hard on myself. I hope you don't do the same thing. You know, I think, you know, when you get to the fasting, that's going to help a lot, because then if you get to 1 meal a day, or if you get, you know, you do 2 days or something like that, you can make that 1 meal, you know, pretty clean. Then you can feel like, yes, I did 100%, you know, clean keto. But sometimes when you're trying to go get a snack, it's just really difficult not to, especially if you're working and you got to get back to work. It's like, I got to go eat, you know. So anyway, so dirty clean, and you'll see that that's pretty much what I'm shooting for. So I moved myself down to, even though dirty clean goes all the way across, because I'm only like officially doing it at the beginning of the week here. If I keep doing that every day, then I'm going to move myself up every day to the end. On the macros, I told you guys that I was going to be, you know, the ratio of macros now I'm going to start focusing more on. But if if for some reason I don't do that and I still have some higher carbs, you know, than I have been doing, then, you know, I still have my okay set kind of like to less than 40, because remember, I'm trying to ease myself into this. My good is less than 30, my better is less than 20, and then you'll see that best is, you know, less than 20, and you know, the beast mode is less than 20 with higher fat. That is, you know, what I rated myself at for yesterday because of the 73, you know, 73 4% carbs and then 23% protein. So for me, woohoo! I wasn't actually, you know, trying to do that, but when I looked at the numbers at the end of the day, I was like, whoa, I actually hit it. So that's fantastic. I'm going to continue on every day to, you know, continue learning keto, revisiting stuff that I've known from the past, and then what I'm learning here, you know, in the future. I can always learn. We can all always learn. So, one video a day is what I'm shooting for. For some reason, I happen to, you know, watch 2. That would be fantastic. So, moving on to tracking. I am still just really killing in this category. You see, every day I've been holding up my book, you know, and I've got all these, you know, recordings in there and like things that have worked and, you know, and just generally tracking. And then I also take time to put it into my chronometer app, which gives you know, me the ability to, you know, see the real numbers and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. For meditation, you know, I'm still doing, you know, small meditations a day. You know, that's again where I just sit and close my eyes and, you know, just kind of relax and stuff. I do want to try to get up, you know, higher in minutes on those because, you know, I feel like that really helps me a lot. So keep moving forward in that category. As I do more meditations, I'll move myself, you know, to the right side, you know, as we progress through the week. Again, no exercise. And so that's it for my goals today, folks. Let's get to my video recommendation. Today's video recommendation is about, you know, bulletproof coffee. So, you know, I figured kick off the week, we'd just start with, you know, maybe not a start out with a non-scientific video. You know, I didn't want to bring a doctor in. I wanted to, you know, again, I told you it's going to be a wide range of, you know, folks that are, you know, I'm going to be recommending in my video. So the video that we have today actually is from the Keto Connect folks, which is Matt and Mega. They've been around for quite a while now on the, you know, doing keto, posting videos and website. I mean, they have tons and tons and tons and tons of you know, videos out there. So their video titled "How to Make Bulletproof Coffee Healthier and 4 Recipes Better Than the Original." I want to say that there's way more than 4 in the video when I remember watching it. They really do have some interesting, you know, interesting versions of bulletproof coffee. My bulletproof coffee is pretty straightforward. It's kind of the old nuts and bolts one that I learned to do like 4 years ago. It's simply, you know, coffee, you know, a tablespoon of MCT oil, and then a tablespoon of butter. So for me, this is actually pretty clean for me because, you know, my coffee is organic. I don't buy organic coffee because I'm, you know, trying to be like, hey, I like to do organic coffee. You know, I do it mainly because I could not find a flavor. I don't like it to be too bitter. So the coffee that I get from Costco is called Ruta Maya, and I can only ever order it online, but it's actually really good. And the you know, I always do a grass-fed butter like a Carrie's Irish Gold, you know, or the Costco grass-fed brand that they have, and then the MCT oil, which I forgot to bring down and kind of put right here and just show you guys, but I'll make sure I have it, you know, for tomorrow's video. But it's an organic, you know, what they call, like, I think it's called organic naked MCT oil. So, but that's mine. I do that. Sometimes I blend it, sometimes I don't. I know that's kind of kind of odd, but you'll see in their video that, you know, they blend it and they can make some really creamy, smooth, you know, delicious tasting. I do it. Sometimes I just don't have the time, so I kind of skip that step. So they mentioned in the video that, you know, it's, you know, MCT oil is fast metabolizing. You know, I remember the video I know I'm going to find for tomorrow is one where Dr. Boz talks about, you know, how when it enters your system, it goes like straight to your liver, not like somewhere else. And anyway, we'll save that for tomorrow, but it's pretty neat. It gives you you can get the energy quicker. You know, the whole idea behind Bulletproof Coffee is that it's a real big energy kick, and, you know, it can help you out a lot. So, but they mention in their video, same thing Dr. Boz says, don't go crazy with MCT oil the first time. So she mentions, like I said, licking the spoon, you know, to get used to MCT oil slowly until your intestinal tract gets used to it. You know, I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I bit the bullet and just did the whole tablespoon. And surprisingly enough, I didn't have any like crazy bowel movements or anything yesterday. So, yay. That's probably because I've done MCT many a times in the past. So let me look at the notes here. So the Matt shows like the original, you know, recipe for doing Bulletproof Coffee, and then they both share like their own versions of, you know, what Bulletproof Coffee is. So starting out, I probably would just do the, you know, the nuts and bolts version, but there were some pretty cool recipes that, you know, I think I'll try, you know, once I get, you know, way down the road, and, you know, and I got my insulin under check, and I'm doing really good and stuff like that. But I really think you'll enjoy it. It's a good, you know, it's a good video to start week 8 with, and, you know, get you acquainted with Bulletproof Coffee if you've never had that before. That's it for day 8, folks. Thank you for watching the video with me today. Please take time to like and subscribe to Keto with me. If you got any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Just remember, I'm not perfect. Be a coach, not a critic, and take care, folks.